Hey, church family, Pastor Randy here. So we're getting closer to reopening the church. I am scared. I am really terrified. Do you know why? No, you probably don't. I am scared about getting it wrong. No, I'm not talking about, getting the following the guidelines wrong from the government or getting the message wrong for Sunday in front of you. No, I'm not talking about those things of getting it wrong. I'm talking about doing church. I'm talking about being the church and getting it wrong in Jesus' eyes. That's what I'm scared about. I'm scared about getting it wrong. You see, Christ has not called us to a Christianity that says that I just got to show up for church and sit in a pew and maybe sing a few songs and hear a message and then go out and live my life the way I want to, Monday through Saturday. No, that is not what Christ has called us to. And yet, that is much of what the church in this country has come to. A culturalized Christianity of showing up on Sunday, sitting in a pew, and doing the church thing. That's what I'm scared about. And so I want to challenge my church family, you. I want to challenge you. Let's make sure that we don't allow us to fall into that trap. How do we do that? Well, I'd like to just share one verse from the book of Acts, because there's this word that I think there's a secret in this word of how we're supposed to do church or how we're supposed to be the church that gives us a secret into that. It's the word fellowship or koinonia. The first time that this word is mentioned, it's not in the book of Matthew or Mark or Luke or even in the book of John. The first time this word is mentioned is in the second chapter of the book of Acts, after the Spirit of God has been poured out upon his people, and they all spoke in different languages, and people heard their languages spoken. When they were all gathered together, just Jerusalem was filled with Jews because of the festival that was happening. It was after that this verse 42, speaks of the disciples and the apostles. They were all gathered together, and it describes how they started doing life together. Verse 42, chapter 2, the book of Acts, it says, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Fellowship or koinonia literally means participation. They started participating with one another. Very interesting that this word isn't used until after the Spirit of God has been poured out upon all of God's people. It wasn't until each one had the Spirit of God that they started participating with one another. And so, no, church is not about coming to sit in a pew, but it has everything to do with participation. Now, join me tomorrow as we talk more about this word fellowship, which means to participate with one another. Because I am excited about reopening the church, but I'm terrified about doing it wrong. And so East Vancouver Community Church, let's not do it wrong, but let's participate with one another. I love you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Join me tomorrow as we talk more about participation.